You don't need to be a genius to get rich. But if you can't control your emotions, you'll stay broke forever. Welcome to the Dark Core, where we don't just read books. We upgrade your mindset, money game, and freedom. If you're tired of surface-level advice and ready to build a life that's real, rich, and yours, you're in the right place. Let me hit you with the truth. Getting rich, it's not about being smart. It's about being emotionally stable. In The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel doesn't just suggest this, he proves it again and again. Everybody's out here asking, what should I do with my money? But almost nobody actually does it. Because money isn't a math problem, it's a behavior problem. You could have a PhD, you could be the smartest person in the room, and still end up broke. Not because you're dumb, but because you panicked. You chased trends. You tried to flex for people who don't even care. Money doesn't test your IQ. It tests your patience, your discipline, your emotions. That's what separates the broke from the wealthy. And if you still think money is all about high IQ or flashy moves, let me introduce you to a man who flipped the script. Ronald Reagan, a janitor, swept floors, drove a beat-up old car, wore secondhand clothes. Nobody saw him as wealthy. Most people didn't see him at all. But when he died, he left behind $8 million. No startup, no crypto miracle, just one strategy: patience. He invested small amounts over decades. No flashy trade, no panic, no showing off. While others chased the next coin, the next hack, the next win, Ronald stayed still and let compounding do its quiet, invisible work. That's the game most people never play long enough to win. Because wealth doesn't come from motion. It comes from stillness, and fast money is loud. Real money is patient. It's boring, and it never needs to prove itself. Point number 2, the real riches begin with one word: enough. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. When you check your bank account, do you feel peace or do you feel pressure? Because if you can't define your enough, you'll chase more forever. And that's how you lose, no matter how much you earn. Morgan Housel drops this bomb in The Psychology of Money. There is no reason to risk what you have and need for what you don't have and don't need. Let me tell you an example. Remember Ronald Reagan? A quiet janitor, lived in a modest house, drove a 1980s Toyota. He never chased fancy dinners for Instagram fame. Instead, he put spare change into boring, reliable stocks year after year, decade after decade. When he passed away, he left $8 million to his town's library and hospital. Why? Because he understood when enough was enough. He invested just enough to sleep at night, then stepped away. Now flip the script to someone everyone idolizes. A famous actor who made $50 million, then blew it all on yachts, mansions, and bodyguards. A constant flex, a spotlight, addiction, a hunger that never stopped. Within 5 years, they were begging studios for small roles, haunted not by lack of income, but by never knowing when to stop. Conclusion of the stories: 2 men. One knew his limit and left behind a legacy. The other chased applause and ended up with regret. The difference? One powerful word: enough. When you define what enough looks like, you reclaim your life. You stop playing by someone else's scoreboard. You stop trading your time, your sanity, and your freedom for validation you never needed. Here's your challenge. Right now, write down your enough, not what impresses the world, but what gives you peace. Because when you know it and guard it, you'll never again be a slave to the noise. And that's the wealth move no one's talking about. Point number 3, the goal is not to look rich. It's to be free. Let's be real. Instagram wrecked a lot of people's mindset about money. Now it's not about building wealth. It's about looking like you have it. People are out here leasing cars they can't afford, wearing brands they don't own, living paycheck to paycheck just to post a lifestyle. They're trading freedom for followers. But real wealth, it's not flashy. It's not loud. It's the power to say, I don't need this job. I don't answer to anyone. I live life on my terms. That's freedom. That's control. That's the money flex no one sees. Because the real ones don't need to prove anything. And the wild part, the people who actually have it, you'd never notice. Because while the world's busy screaming, look at me, they're just gone. Real wealth isn't loud. It's calm, clear, and it never chases applause. Now, if something hit you hard, that's not by accident, because here at DocCore, we don't chase hype, we chase freedom. Every book we break down here is a weapon to help you think deeper, grow stronger, and move quieter. So if you're ready to grow, not just look like it, hit that subscribe button. Because this is DocCore, and we grow in silence, win in clarity. I will see you in the next